I'm 28 years old and I have no friends. Wait, what? Yep, you heard me right. Now, I just want to clarify a little bit. Put a little asterisk next to that. I have no close friends, okay? Like, sure, there's people that I talk to, I have acquaintances, co-workers, but I truly don't have any close personal friendships in my life. And it's crazy because one, I live in New York City, two, I'm young, and three, I actually go out every weekend. I want to preface this video by saying that I'm not some antisocial person or a person that has social anxiety. I actually like talking to people, and I go out to bars, clubs, and other social events every weekend, or almost every weekend. And yet, I don't have a single personal close relationship or friendship, right? And a lot of people are shocked by that when I tell them that because of, you know, how I seem when you meet a stranger on the first day, you don't know anything about them, and the fact that I can have and hold a conversation with somebody, and then I drop this at the end of the conversation being like, by the way, I don't have any friends. They're like, what? What do you mean you don't have any friends? That's so shocking. And it's truly so crazy because I know I'm not the only one. Like, if you look at all the statistics and new reports out there, you'll see that Gen Z and people in general are lonelier than ever. And it's crazy because you would think that with social media and all this technology, that it would have made us more connected and closer than ever. But in fact, it honestly has divided us more than ever. Now everybody's in their little echo chambers and their little bubbles where they only form their own opinions and want to be right the whole time and don't want to associate with anybody that disagrees or thinks otherwise. But that's for a whole nother conversation and a whole nother video. I just want to talk about this phenomenon that even like stumps me. Like, why don't I have any close friends? Like, when I go out to the park or I walk down the street, I see people, hanging out together, laughing, and I'm like, damn, why am I always alone? And like, I'm usually a solo bird. I like to venture out and do things on my own. There's nothing wrong with being alone. The problem is when that loneliness creeps in. And like, I'm a human just like anybody else. I also get lonely. A lot of people think that loners, like to be alone 24/7, but we get lonely too. And just because I'm a loner doesn't mean that I don't want to be with people sometimes. Of course, I want to connect sometimes with other people. That's only human. This is human nature. We were made to be connected and talk to each other and so forth. So, like, that's kind of misconstrued there. I like to be alone, but that doesn't mean I want to feel lonely. But in this video, I want to talk about some reasons why I don't have any close friends in 2025 at the age of 28, living in one of the most populated cities in the world. And there are many reasons for this. But the first reason is just that, and I don't want to generalize, but I feel like people now, more than ever, just don't put in the effort, right? When I had friends, a lot of times I would want to do things. I would want to go out with them, go see a new movie, go just explore somewhere new. And a lot of them would be like, I don't want to go. It's this, it's that, blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, all right, fine, cool. Let's not do that then. But then when they wanted to do something, if I didn't go with them, they would get mad at me and then they wouldn't talk to me. And honestly, does anyone want to be going through that? I'd much rather be alone than go through that and have people that are so passive aggressive in my life. And that's just honestly the thing. Like, people just don't reciprocate the effort. A lot of times you make plans with the person. A lot of times you approach them, you say, hey, how are you? How are you doing? What have you been watching? What have you been into? And people are just like, yeah, cool, not much, And to me, that's just so disrespectful and honestly shows a lack of care for me at all, because it's like, you don't give a, and it's just like, why am I wasting and exerting so much effort and time and mental space on somebody that just truly doesn't care? And like, when I try to make friends, or I've tried in the past, it's been this type of energy that I've received. Now, maybe I've just been unlucky or I've been looking in the wrong places, but that's one of the reasons why I was just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not looking for friends anymore. This is it. I'll be fine on my own. I'll have my own fun, make my own fun. I don't need to be invited to no exclusive parties. F all that. I'll make my own fun. And, so far, so good. Of course, I get lonely sometimes, but I would much rather have no friends than fake friends or people that just tolerate me but don't actually accept me or even like me. The next reason I don't have friends is because I honestly just don't have the time for them. And I know this sounds crazy, but apart from this and my main job and my business and like all these other creative outlets and things that I do on a day-to-day basis, I don't really have space or capacity to kind of just go out for trips every 2 weeks with somebody or, have a friend's vacation and all that stuff. Like, I would much rather be at home working. And I know that's crazy because that sounds unhealthy and like I'm a workaholic. But it's just because I'm in my 20s and I want to have my foundations set before I hit my 30s. And it's just like, how can I revel in fun all the time if I'm broke or if I'm not making money to fund those types of trips? Now, if I had all the money in the world, I would have so much more time for friends. And I get it. Some of you will say, well, you don't need to go out on trips. You can just hang out at your place. Can't do that because I don't live alone. I have roommates, family. Or you might say, oh, you can just go to the park and the library. Sure, that's fun to do once in a while. But again, it gets boring. And eventually it's like, okay, this is it. What's the point? So it's just like, yeah, those are options, but I would much rather first be established in my career and have money to be able to enjoy friendships to the fullest extent. So that's also another reason why I just don't really have friends, because I don't also make the time for them anymore. Honestly, with so many things I have going on in my life, it has become so difficult to make space for a deep friendship. And honestly, a lot of people aren't even worth that anymore because, again, like I said in my earlier point, they don't even put in the effort. Another reason why I don't have friends is honestly because I struggle to find people that have similar interests as me. Now, I'm somebody that's really into music, but more so somebody that wants to be in the music industry. My goal in life is to become a successful singer-songwriter. And obviously, when that is your goal, you're not going to find a lot of people that share that similar interest because most people, they don't want to be singer-songwriters. They feel like they don't have the talent for that or the creativity. But I know I do, And like, I've written a bunch of songs. I have albums out, songs out, and so forth. I talked about this in a previous video. And so ideally, my friendships would be from that industry. Like, I would love to connect with other songwriters in the music industry, other people that work in publishing, other people that work at record labels. That is where I would find my people because they would understand me, A&R and all that sorts of stuff. The average common person doesn't know about this, right? They listen to music on Spotify or Apple Music and that's it. But that's not deep enough for me. I'm somebody that's so into music and the music business and the music industry and how to break into that. And obviously, I can't find people that are into that, or I didn't really have anybody that was into that from high school or college. And so it's like, one of the reasons why I don't have friends is because I struggle to find people that share similar interests as me, that share the same kind of goals and passions as I do. And I feel like most people just like are into whatever everyone else is, and like, that's not me. Like, I'm into what I'm into. I'm very individualistic in that sense, where I like going my own way and watching things in my own time and listening to artists I like that may not be the most popular. But most people, they just follow the current and the trend, right? And that's fine, but that's just not me, right? I'm not an NPC. I like carving my own path, carving my own way, thinking for myself, having my own opinions, being opinionated. And a lot of people honestly can't handle somebody like this. Like, that's really like kind of comes off a little strong or very passionate. They're like, whoa, like, let's cool down a little bit. Let's not ruffle any feathers. And I'm like, no, if I feel some type of way or if I don't like something, I'm going to express it. I'm not going to be fake nice. I'm not going to have fake positivity, which leads me into my next point. Another reason why I don't have friends is because I'm very blunt and straightforward and direct, and there's nothing I hate more than hypocrisy and two-facedness. Like, if you don't like me, please say it to my face. Don't say it behind my back. Don't talk mess behind my back. Don't backstab me. Just be straightforward, and it'll be better for both of us. You'll waste less time. You'll waste less of my time and less of your time by just being honest and blunt. And a lot of people can't handle that because fakeness is all they know, or like everybody just wants to be passive aggressive and fake nice and fake positive, and that is absolutely not me. I'm somebody that's direct, gets to the point, and is very blunt about things, and that can come across as arrogant or harsh, but really it's just because I don't like to waste time, right? If I'm going to have people leading me on or talking behind my back, why would I be with them? In what world would that be considered a friend, right? I'd much rather just be on my own, by myself, at peace, without all of that noise. So I'd say those are the main reasons why I don't really have any friends. And I'm not really ashamed about it or worried about it. The only thing that does concern me is that I am young. And if a young person like myself struggles to form connections and make friends, I fear for when I get older, because people are very ageist, and honestly, a lot of people don't value older people. They see them as expired or, past their peak. And it's just like, it's harder to make friends as you get older, as you age, and you lose your youth, which is one of the main components of why people are attracted to you and want to be in your life. I start to put my perspective on it, and I'm like, damn, if I can't make friends at 28, where will I be when I'm 38, 48, if I even make it to those ages, right? Like, will I have any friends then? Will people just be like, oh, you're old, I don't want to be your friend? So if you're younger than me watching this video, please make friends while you can. Because when I was in high school and when I was in college, I had loads of friends. Like, what united us and bonded us was high school and college. And it was so much fun. Like, we went out and did a bunch of things. And those are some of the best memories that I still cherish, even though I don't talk to any of those people anymore. So what, right? At least I have the memory. And so it's just like, if you're a young person, if you're Gen Z, please go out and make friends. Please try to approach that person that you want to talk to in your class. If they reject you, so what? It's not the end of the world. There are plenty of other people to talk to. Like, just please take advantage of your youth while you're young and make those connections, make those memories. Please make those yearbook photos. Because I'm telling you, as somebody that's 28 and entering my 30s soon, it only gets harder to make friends. Your circle of people just diminishes and gets smaller and smaller. And I wish it weren't like this, but it's honestly true. With adult life getting in the way, with all these social problems, with all these responsibilities, people having families and kids and jobs and so forth, there's really no time in this modern world and age to make a bunch of friends and a bunch of connections unless you're well off. And so that's why I'm saying to you, if you're in school and you're younger than me, younger than 28 at least, please make those friends while you still can. Alright, so that's really all I had to say for this video. I really wanted to get this off my chest because honestly, a lot of people don't have friends. And that can be for many reasons, right? They could be antisocial or they have social anxiety. But let me tell you, even somebody like me that's a social person and actually interacts with strangers every weekend and also on a daily basis due to my job, you can have all of those surface level connections and still have no deep, meaningful connections in this modern world. Crazy, isn't it? So just know that people like us exist, and that doesn't mean that we are antisocial or hate being around others, but just know it's because we're tired. We're tired of the fakeness, we're tired of the drama, we're tired of the two-facedness, we're tired of the hypocrisy, whatever it may be, right? A lot of us have had toxic experiences with having negative friends that just suck you in their toxicity and drama, and a lot of us feel better alone. Of course, ideally, I would love to have my group, my tribe of friends that I can rely on if I'm, in crisis or whatever. And it saddens me sometimes when I wake up and I'm like, damn, zero texts, nobody cares, nobody messages me. But it is how it is in this modern world. And I know I'm not the only one. So just know that if you're feeling lonely, you're not alone. And of course, I'm right there with you. So anyways, let me know what you think about this video. Are you also a loner? Do you also not have any friends? Or what's your take on this subject? Please let me know down below in the comments because I love to hear from you guys. And make sure to share, like, and subscribe if you haven't. And I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.